Hello and welcome to Archvelder's Hacks with Archvelder and his amazing hacks. In this video we are going to be discussing how to pay for a WoW token by gold farming. Now it's important to understand that I'll be giving you some simple basic gold farms to try for entry-level gold farmers, but the real value in this video is in a very powerful method I'll be showing you, which I haven't seen anyone else publish. In this video, I will not be discussing 2x4 farms, auction house flipping, boosting, or anything else which requires automation or organised team play, for the very simple reason that in most cases players just do not want to or cannot do those things, however profitable they may be. This is a solo gold farming guide. We will also not be discussing things which can only be done weekly or daily like callings. Gold farms in this video are suggested mainly based on how easy they are, raw gold, and a high sell rate for any farm materials, because that's what interests most of my viewers. Getting much higher returns from gold farming per hour is certainly possible solo, but usually requires exploiting some broken content or glitch, and that content has to remain secret on my Patreon. Blizzard would just fix that stuff instantly if I uploaded it to YouTube. A common criticism of this type of video is that working an hour at minimum wage would allow you to buy a token more easily than most gold farms. This, however, ignores the fact that people do not generally view time spent playing WoW as menial wage labour, and also that in many countries a single dollar is a decent sum of money. Right, so I'm going to start by showing you the basic method I'm going to be presenting here, which I've never seen published elsewhere. It is not an exploit, however, it is a very powerful technique. Essentially what we do is farm a dungeon or raid once, then use a different character to farm a number of mobs in-world. Then we return to the dungeon and run it again and repeat the whole process. This will get you much more gold than doing both things by themselves, as we'll see. Now I'm going to show you how this works in practice with some actual examples. Now for those of you who want a very simple basic farm, we'll get straight into it. And the best choice is the Mr. Pandaria Heart of Fear looking for raid. Now, I've never seen anyone really cover how to farm Heart of Fear LFR properly before. There's a very common misconception that you can farm trash up to the first boss only. This is not true. That applies to normal and heroic wings of the dungeon, but not LFR. You can in fact farm all the trash on the first and second floors. Killing bosses does not prevent the trash from respawning if you leave the instance and use an instance reset. When you re-enter, everything will spawn again. And when you kill a boss the second time, it does not drop loot obviously, however it only takes a second to kill a boss, so it won't hold you up for very long. The way I do Heart of Fear is simply to kill all the trash and the first boss. Kill these 4 mobs here in front of the second boss, which causes the rest of the trash in this chamber to aggro and run towards you. And then I generally quit. If you have a very fast character, such as a monk, demon hunter or druid, you might want to try the trash on the 3rd floor, but personally I find it takes too long to get up there. Assuming you just farm the trash around the first 2 bosses on the 1st floor, you will make 1,538 raw gold, plus gold from vended weapons and armor. You'll also make 121 motes of harmony, which multiplied by the EU median price of 21 gold, 36 silver, equates to 2,584 gold. You'll also get an additional 170 raw gold from lockboxes. You'll need a rogue to lockpick these lockboxes. You can use a class trial rogue if you don't have one. In total, over 10 runs you should get 4,292 gold. These figures are based on my own runs. You'll get some fluctuation around those numbers, but not that much. Now, it should be added that killing all the trash in Heart of Fear in 15 minutes is actually pretty close to maximum speed, and some classes will struggle to get even close to that. Speed is really important. If it takes you 20 minutes to get to instance lockout running Heart of Fear, then it's going to take you just over 19 hours to get your token on EU and just under 15 hours on the US. Note that you can do significantly better than this if you can sell some of the bind on equip items you get in Heart of Fear, but I'm not including those in these numbers as they do take time to sell. Now, this is the best raw gold farm to do for 15 to 20 minutes. And if you like farming for short periods at a time, this is quite a good option. But what do you do if you want to keep farming? First, it is worth knowing that you can do other unique instances even after your 10 instance lockout. So for example, you can run the trash in Mogashan Vaults, which can drop Spirits of Harmony and some nice raw gold. But that will only add a minute or two. So let's try a completely different approach. Say we run through Heart of Fear just once, but now, instead of resetting the instance and running through again, we switch to a character that I parked near to the Firelands entrance in Mount Haujal. These Molten Giants have a decent chance to drop up to 6 volatile fire, which are worth around 50 gold each at the time of writing. Now, this would be a really good farm if the giants respawned instantly. But they don't. They actually have a 6-minute respawn timer. There are other giants in the area, but it isn't really efficient to farm them. They're scattered all over the place. You can make about 10k an hour farming all of them doing this, which is nothing special. But we can use a trick here. By switching between characters, we can make the Molten Giants effectively respawn. Say we just kill all the giants in the immediate area here, which should take under a minute. For that minute, our effective gold returns are really quite good on average. It's the long respawn times that make this an average farm. Now we go back to our first character and do Heart of Fear 3 to 4 times. However many runs we can fit into 6 minutes. We can then return to Haujal and the Molten Giants, and they will have respawned whilst we were farming Heart of Fear. Now, it's important to get the switch right. Don't log off. That takes too long. You want to do this very quickly. What you want to do is have 2 clients open. That's 2 World of Warcraft programs that you can launch from your Battle.net app. When you want to switch between characters, you just log onto the second program. You do not need to pay for 2 accounts to do this. You only need to pay for 1 account. I repeat, you will only need 1 paid account to do this. You are using the 2 clients to log on to different characters on the same paid account. This process should take only seconds with practice. By doing this, you dramatically raise the returns from the part of your gold farming you do in the open world, since you have precisely 0 downtime between spawns. You also never have to compete with anyone else, since most gold farmers are going to be concentrating on mobs with fast or instant respawns. By the way, it's worth looking out for the rare mob Gar if you want to do this farm in Mount Haujal while you do this, as he drops over 400 raw gold and some unique items. Now, the observant will have noticed that while we have extended our farming time by using this method, it will still only take about half an hour for us to hit instance lockout. You could add some time by running the trash in the nearby Firelands, which has decent raw gold. You may want to use a potion of treasure finding if you do that. However, there's a way to get even closer to filling up the hour, and that's by using a method I released earlier in Shadowlands, which allows you to slip in and out of time walking mode, effectively a different realm, which gives you a new set of mobs to kill. To access time walking mode, you'll need a starter edition account. That's the free account Blizzard allows people to test characters up to level 20 with. This starter edition account must be part of your Battle.net account. I invite a starter edition account character in time walking mode with a main account character. Time walking mode being accessed from Chromie outside your faction's embassy. You can then call up your map and turn on party sync, which will flip you into time walking mode. This scales down your main character to level 50, which will make the mobs slightly harder to kill, but it won't make that much difference. Now, switching from dungeon or raid farming to open world farming is a simple and effective way to use this strategy, but you don't have to do it that way. For example, this location here in Ardenweald is a really good one I use a lot for skinning with my mage, but it does slow down quite a bit in profitability after the first minute or so as you thin out the density of mobs and everything respawns. I stationed a warlock who also has skinning nearby in a similarly attractive location. It turns out that switching between the two, you can dramatically increase your profits by about 20 to 25%. There are literally infinite possibilities with this strategy. Pretty much every gold farm has already been discovered, only a few months into an expansion or patch, but you could never exhaust all the possibilities doing this. It could be something as exotic as farming clusters of Elithium in Korthia in a node-rich area, while switching to farming Ethereal in this cluster of herbs in Azuna, the Broken Isles. Farming small clusters of gathering materials is generally a lot more profitable than doing an actual route. Or you could farm Ember Silk here in the Bastion of Twilight. This farm holds up surprisingly well despite its age. It's especially profitable for tailors, as Ember Silk bags still unaccountably sell well, while switching to a character in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms and farming these stone statues, which yield an extraordinary variety of lucrative Mists of Pandaria drops, but again have long respawn times. There are literally infinite possibilities. So there's the video. If you liked it, why not subscribe? And if you really liked it, why not join my super secret Patreon feed where tricks too hot for YouTube are uploaded regularly?